Setting up your meeting.
Oh,
All right, we are live.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Triple Crown Gold Facebook Live. And we want to, evidently there were some problems with Zoom. So thank you for your patience. I also want to thank Alan Jesse, the owner of Cherokee Feed, and all the guys at the store, Steve and Jeremy at Ball Ground, Cody and Will at North Fulton, Randy and Jody at Gainesville. They have done a phenomenal job through all this craziness. I hope all of you are holding up through all this craziness. The most important thing is to make sure that we get feed to your horses. I want to introduce Megan Brown, who works with Cherokee Feed. She is a hunter jumper trainer, so she knows a lot about what everybody's going through, knows a lot about horses, and she is the Cherokee outside equine specialist. So if you have any questions or need anything, can't get me, can't get Dave, Megan's your girl. So thank you for being here, and now I'm going to introduce Dave Perkins, who is going to do our talk on Triple Crown Gold. Please put your questions as they come up, and then when Dave gets done with the presentation, then we'll start answering them, and then we'll also tell you at the end of the presentation how to register for 5 free bags of feed. So hang on. Hi, Heidi. Welcome back. Dave.
All right. Thanks everybody for taking time out of their busy afternoon to join us. Today I want to, well, I have a little bit of problem with PowerPoint. There we go. Today I want to take some time to introduce our new Gold line of horse feed. These are exciting new products. They've been out on the market for maybe just a couple months, and we've had some really positive feedback on them. We want to take your questions, like Peggy said. Just so you know, I cannot see the Facebook Live. So if you make a comment, Peggy and Megan are monitoring those comments. So if you have a question for something that I'm covering, just feel free to type it in, and Peggy will go ahead and ask it. But I won't be able to see it. It's a little bit like being on the radio, I guess. Where I'm just kind of talking and a little disconnected from the audience. But if you guys have a question, just ask Peggy and she'll jump in. Before we get into the bells and whistles of these horse feeds, I want to take a minute to recognize Cherokee Feed and Seed. I began my career in the feed business in 2005, which is a year after Cherokee began selling Triple Crown. So I have known Alan, Steve, and Jeremy and the guys for all those years, and just been an outstanding partner to me and to Triple Crown. And one of those reasons that has made the partnership so successful is the guys at Cherokee and the owner at Triple Crown. They kind of share a vision of quality and customer satisfaction. Their commitment to both of those products are both of those values is really what's made our partnership so successful. And we started out just at the Ball Ground store, and now Alan's bought the Gainesville and Milton stores, and we just couldn't be any happier with those guys. So special thanks to the guys at Cherokee Feed and Seed. As I said, at Triple Crown, we don't really make anything but ultra premium and super premium products. Unlike other feed companies, that have a lower end feed and a middle feed, Triple Crown doesn't have that in its product mix. We focus solely on putting the best feed in the 50-pound bag that you can buy. And that again goes back to our small company values and commitment to quality. 10 or 15 years ago, there were not a lot of products on the market like Triple Crown, say Senior. There was a high fiber, high fat beef pulp based feed. But anymore, that's not the case. People have kind of caught on to what we do, and they've tried to emulate what we do, but they cannot emulate our commitment to the horse's gut health and his immune system health. We wrap that up in a product called EquiMix, which is a combination of several different micro ingredients of prebiotics, probiotics, high levels of probiotics. Most of the time, we're 50 times as concentrated in live microorganisms as our closest competitor. That's 50 times as concentrated. Probiotics. We also add enzymes, 7 organic or hydrolyzed minerals, kelp meal, and all of those things are all micro ingredients that they can't be emulated by other companies, and they're specifically for keeping your horse's gut as healthy as possible. We've been doing that since the beginning of Triple Crown when Rob Doherty and Dr. Bill Vandergrift started the company. Bill was the PhD that formulated the feeds. Rob is the owner. They began our products like that and have been keeping up with technology ever since then. And in 2019, technology began to shift, and we saw some new products developed on the market that we thought would be beneficial to add to all of our feeds. This is not just the Triple Crown Gold, but also the classic white bags that you guys are used to being on the market and used to feeding. We added a butyric acid called Butapearl ZEQ. Butyric acid is a wonderful micro ingredient that helps increase the strength of the intestinal lining. By feeding those cells the butyric acid, which is their favorite energy source, we're able to prevent a condition called leaky gut syndrome. Most all horses that are in stress will develop some sort of leaky gut at some time. And we've added this butyric acid to help prevent that. And again, this is in all of our products, and it's new to 2019. I know some people have noticed maybe a peppermint smell when these products were added to Triple Crown, when the butyric acid was added to Triple Crown. And that's what that peppermint smell is. It's the butyric acid. It's encoded in essential peppermint oil, which is super healthy for your animal anyway. Also, a new technology that was just came onto the market last year is a proprietary form of Bacillus subtilis bacteria, probiotic bacteria. The Bacillus subtilis, called Clostat, is a little different than the other probiotic bacteria that we use, and then it's a spore-forming bacteria, and then it's antagonistic, or it attacks certain pathogenic bacteria in the microbiome. It will create lesions on those pathogenic bacteria and increase the number of good bacteria in the gut just by simply eliminating the bad ones. So we're using this one, and we're super excited with the results that we've had. And again, the Clostat and all the other EquiMix technology is in all our feeds, the white bags, the gold bags, the new gold bags that you're used to. But these are new as far as 2019. We're super excited about them. If you guys have questions about the Bacillus subtilis or Clostat or the butyric acid, just please feel free to reach out anytime. As far as that goes, that's all I really want to talk about, the EquiMix. I want to move on quickly to the new Triple Crown Gold feeds. As I indicated before, in 2019, we started seeing a lot of emerging technology that we have not seen before. It's super exciting. So we thought it was time to update our product line. So Dr. Bill Vandergrift formulated these 3 new products to bring our products to, I don't know, I'm sorry, excuse me. Dr. Vandergrift formulated these products to bring our products to the forefront of the market. The main difference in these products is he's formulated for optimal amino acid content. He's added a gastric buffer in these products that you don't get in other products. And the really exciting one, he's a balance for electrolytes. So in the summertime down here in Georgia, Florida, where it gets so hot and humid, he's able to help these performance animals deal with the heat that we have so much of down here. But those of you that have been in the horse feed business for any amount of time, a long time, probably remember calf manna. Back in the day, calf manna was a super popular product, and it worked really, really well for the time that it was developed. And a big part of that success that calf manna experienced, it had a very high level of whey protein in it. As the years progressed, human nutrition accepted whey protein more and more, and it became more and more expensive as GNC sold more and more, and other health stores sold more and more whey protein to humans. So whey lost its spot in the animal nutrition market. Recently, we've decided to bring a little bit of that whey back and look at protein differently than we have in the past. You guys are all familiar with the crude protein tag or guarantee on your horse's feed tag. And really, crude protein is just that. It's a pretty crude measurement of the protein in your animal's diet. But by balancing amino acids, we're able to increase the efficiency in which the horses use protein. And basically what has happened is we've taken biopsies of the horse's muscle, of mare's milk, and had them analyzed for amino acid content. And you can see this slide, it has two different graphs. The top white and gray graph is the actual amino acid content that we had analyzed in that biopsy. When we take that information and formulate our feeds to the match as closely as we can the horse's muscle, which you can see how closely it resembles in the blue and gray graph at the bottom, it increases the efficiency of protein absorption and synthesis in the horse's system. So you have all these supplements on the market that claim to increase top line or hoof health or what have you. This concept is really what they're after. A lot of them do it just by throwing amino acids at the problem. They throw more and more lysine or more and more threonine at the problem, but they don't do it in the right ratios. And we feel like if you don't do it in the right ratio, you're not doing as good a job as you should be doing. And we've rebalanced these gold feeds to incorporate that. So your horse should be able to have a stronger top line. He should be able to use that protein more efficiently than any other product in the market. We've also added a wonderful buffer to these feeds. We know that almost all horses at some time in their life, especially performance horses or horses that travel, will develop an ulcer at some point. That's pretty common knowledge. I don't think we're breaking any news there. So we have found a seaweed-derived calcium source. We've done some research on it, and we found that in a 30-day treatment of this calcia powder, which we've added to the Triple Crown Gold Perform Senior and Balancer, that 100% of horses that were treated with calcia powder had a reduction in severity of their gastric ulcers. 7 out of 10 of those horses, the ulcers completely cleared. And that's really, really cool. You'll get this product. A lot of you guys might feed Purina Outlast or be familiar with that. This product is not Outlast, but it's very, very similar. And the important takeaway is if you're getting 4 or 5 pounds of our Triple Crown Gold Perform, you're going to get an effective dose of this calcia powder. So it takes just a very small amount of Perform to get an effective dose. The way this product works is over time, it buffers the foregut. You guys can see the blue line is horses that were not fed the calcea powder. That is, their pH of their stomach gets more and more acidic relatively quickly after they consume a meal. But a horse that has been fed calcea, that pH of their stomach stays at a higher, more neutral level for longer, which prevents ulcers. And again, it doesn't take very much. 4 or 5 pounds to perform. Senior, if you get 6 pounds of senior in there, you're at a preventative dose. And any horse that travels, any horse that has a change in environment is very prone to develop an ulcer. So we've added this just for the animal's benefit. We're super excited to be able to offer it to you guys. Additionally, and maybe, I skipped a slide. For us in the South, maybe the most beneficial new addition to these feeds is the increased dietary cation anion difference. That's kind of a mouthful. So we're marketing it as electrolyte balance. But basically what we've done is we've tried to increase the metabolic pH of your horse's muscle system to help them fight heat tolerance. And that goes if they're standing in a pasture just sweating, or if they're running around a jumper ring, or even running around barrels at a barrel race. Dr. Vandergriff first used this technology. He trained racehorses in Kentucky, and he would use this technology 10, 15, 20 years ago when he was still up there. And what he found as he increased the dietary cation difference, after breathing heavy at the track, his horses would be back on the trailer headed back home after exercise, while other horses were still being hot walled, still trying to cool down. They just didn't have the stamina and the recovery that the horses that were being fed this product had. So we feel like it's a huge advantage to you guys that are training horses. Also, growing up in Florida, we had horses that would develop anhidrosis, or they would stop sweating in the summertime. We don't think that by feeding Triple Crown Perform Gold or Senior Gold, we will cure anhidrosis, but we do feel like by adding this electrolyte balance, we can help reduce the incidence of it. So that's a huge advantage to horses. If they develop that anhidrosis, there's not much we can do with them down here. We would take them and send them to, up in the Midwest in the summertime. We would send them to Montana or somewhere just for their own safety. We just couldn't do much with them. So really a nice addition to these feeds. And again, it will just help them recover better. They'll have less muscle soreness and stiffness through the summertime. I do want to make an important point. We're marketing this as electrolyte balance. That does not mean that this is designed to replace electrolytes that they lose from sweat. So as horses exercise in the heat, they sweat out their electrolytes. We still recommend that they have a salt blocker or some sort of source of electrolyte additionally. We're not by any means claiming to replace electrolytes that you would add because they lost from sweat. Really exciting new technology here. There's 3 different products I want to go over in the Gold line. The first is Triple Crown Gold Perform. This is a 12% fat, 12% protein, 15% fiber pellet. If you look at our product line, Triple Crown has never had a high fat pellet. We've had the TLC and we've had low starch, which were lower fat pellets, but we've never had a performance type pellet. So we feel like this fills a pretty big hole for us and hopefully for you. It's a really nice pellet. It's got tons of calories, 1,800 calories per pound. And going back to the amino acid balance, We've added a ton of whey protein to all of these feeds to balance out the amino acids like we were discussing previously. So a ton of whey protein, which is a super high quality source of protein. We've added Triple Crown Senior Gold. For those of you that have fed our Classic Senior, excuse me, there's a lawnmower outside and my window was open. I hope that didn't bother anybody. Triple Crown Senior Gold, for those of you that are familiar with our Classic Senior or our Triple Crown Senior that's been on the market forever, this feed will have a little more fat than that product. It has a significant amount more calories per pound, in addition to whey protein and the gastric buffer. Really nice product. And a little gem here with this new senior, for those of you that have fed Triple Crown Senior in the past, I don't have to tell you that in the wintertime, it tends to get hard and bricky. We made a concerted effort here with the Senior Gold to address that problem in particular. So in January and December, when you go out to your barn and you grab a bag of this senior feed, it's not going to brick on you like our old product. So we're super excited about this for no other reason than that. Just a little gem right there, Triple Crown Senior Gold. Also, I will say about this product in particular, going back to my conversations with Dr. Vandegrift, who formulated our original Triple Crown Senior, as well as Senior Gold. He has some horses on his farm that are doing significantly better. They were doing well on Triple Crown Senior, but doing better on this feed. So even the creator of the whole brainchild, this is still seeing a significant benefit to feeding this product. We also have released a new balancer product. This is a lower protein balancer than we've had in the past. It's soy-free, no molasses, and it's super fortified with vitamin, minerals, probiotics. So you can feed it at a lower rate than our other products. It's same feeding rate as our traditional 30% balancer or 30% supplement. And for those of you that have horses that are easy keepers and light work, insulin resistance, that kind of thing, this is an ideal product for that. I will say one of the key selling points here is it's soy-free. There's a certain part of the market that has asked us for a soy-free product. So we try to answer demand as it comes up. So no soy at all, any kind of this product. Triple Crown Gold Balancer. That's the three products in the line. I want to take a minute just to point out the calories in this feed is a tremendous amount of calories in the new gold feeds. If you look at our classic white bag senior, and I don't want to compare it from different companies because different companies report this number different, but I can compare it to ours. If you think about the traditional just kind of green plastic scoop that everybody feeds with, that's about a 3-pound scoop. If you take our classic white bag Triple Crown Senior, has 1,550 calories, which is a pretty fair amount of calories. But in that green scoop, that 3-pound scoop, the same scoop, you're going to get an additional 750 to 800 calories out of that one scoop, which is a significant amount. And horses are really responding to that. So really nice calorie load here. Perform has the same amount of calories as a senior. Had some super positive feedback on that. And again, the balancer, low calorie, super fortified vitamin and minerals. So if you have an easy keeper, that's a product to look at. Also, most of our customers are pretty in tune with sugars and starch levels. My point to putting this chart up, this is on the internet, this is on triplecrownfeed.com, so you can go in and reference this material anytime. But these products are very much in line with the way we've always gone to market, low sugar starch feeds. The Senior Gold is very much in line with Triple Crown Senior Perform Gold. We're super happy with the 16% NSC value. So you can feed these feeds knowing that they're low sugars and starches, just like any of our other products that we've put on the market for several years. Grain-free, nothing new here. But I do want to make you aware that we're going to market in much the same way, low sugar starch. That's a really, really quick run through of these products because I want to get to your questions and take as much time addressing your questions as we can. But most of all, before we do that, all of you guys that buy our feeds, we want to say thank you very much for your business. We appreciate it more than you know. I live not far from most of you guys over there in Cherokee and I don't know, Alpharetta, wherever you guys are. I'm over in Cartersville, so I'm very close. You guys can reach out to me anytime. That's my cell phone number. I'm happy for you to call, text, or whatever. Also, email. During this time of pandemic, I'm in my office quite a bit. So if you guys have a question, you can email me anytime. Other than that, Peggy, if you want to ask questions, I'm going to stop my screen share and we can address whatever you guys want to from here on out.
Okie doke. This is some of the early questions that we had.
Okay.
Jamie Powell asks, my young horse is doing well on Triple Crown Balancer, but recently started playing and running around in the pasture more and lost a little weight. Should I switch him to another Triple Crown feed?
If they're losing weight on the balancer, I might say that would be probably okay to, if it's a young horse, you can go with Triple Crown Growth. 4 or 5 pounds of that a day would be fine. Also, if it's a young horse, they could potentially do well depending on the breed on the new Senior Gold, 4 or 5 pounds of that a day. If they're losing weight on balancer, I would certainly think more calories were appropriate.
Okay. This is Lisa Turner, and she has a performance horse getting some cutting training, 3 years old, wants to keep up her training program to further develop her ground skills, regular workouts, and she's currently feeding a simple grain diet with 12 to 13% protein and alfalfa forage free choice.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you for the question. I think I saw you put a picture of that horse and he was very attractive. I'm pretty sure that was the horse I saw. I would think for a horse in cutting type training, I would recommend the Perform Pellet or Triple Crown Complete. Perform Pellet, you should be able to get the gastric buffer in there because the cutters are going to travel quite a bit. I know I saw some cutters friends of mine from down in Unadilla were traveling already, showing so the gastric support that you're going to get from the Perform along with the calories, a cutting horse should do really, really well on that. I know those guys lope a lot of circles before they go into the pen, so they're going to need a lot of calories. I would say Perform would be an excellent choice, or Complete.
Okay, Catherine Davis has a question. She has oh, are you there? She has an old Arab mare that came severely underweight, and she's trying the Senior Gold. Will it help her put weight on, or does she need something more? And I think it's a matter of, how much time she's been on the Gold. I think patience is the key. But how much time for like a horse that needs to gain weight would you recommend when they switch over to be able to see some difference?
I would say at least a month, probably more like 6 weeks or 8 weeks to see a difference, depending on how bad off he was. But yeah, I would give it at least 6 weeks. And Miss Catherine, if she wants to send us a picture, a before and after picture, we would love to see that. Maybe we could show that to the public, how well he winds up doing on the Triple Crown Senior Gold. Yeah, it shouldn't take more than 4 to 6 weeks before she sees a pretty sizable difference. And I don't know that she would need to add anything other than a good quality hay along with that.
Well, and I think the thing that we need to let people know is that we are always available, whether it's you, me, or Megan, that if somebody wants us to come out and, you know, put our hands on your horse and look at the feeding program and everything, I mean, that's what we're here to do.
Absolutely. We can get it as customized as we need to with any horse. There, one horse, 5 horses, 50 horses. It doesn't matter. Every bag matters to us. So if you need us to come, there's 3 folks on this call that will surely be happy to help.
Now, Sue has a question, and I'm not really sure what the diagnosis was, but she has a 30-plus-year-old pony that she rescued in October. She was a mess. Her manure was black water and she couldn't urinate. She smelled rotten. I'm curious what the vet, that kind of situation is a vet diagnosis. She can't eat hay. She chews and quids, also on Ugord and weight gain products. It took her 2 months to get back to pony poop. I guess that's small poop. And she's been dewormed. Her teeth have been done. Trying to get her on a better feed. Is there one? I would like to hear about it. And she says she can share a picture. So basically 30-year-old, how would you feed a 30-year-old that doesn't necessarily have good teeth? I mean, soak the feed, cubes, things like that.
I would absolutely start with cubes. And in her case, it sounds like there's probably some probably high gut inflammation and that sort of thing. So orange cubes soaked, Senior Gold soaked, the probiotic package in that, the Butapearl in that should certainly help that pony get back to the gut health. But yes, I like to take a senior diet and soak both products, the cubes as well as the feed. After I feed in the morning, I'll go ahead and make the afternoon feeding and start it soaking then. And when I feed in the afternoon, I'll go ahead and make the morning's diet and start it soaking in. So I always have some feed soaking. I will say too, if you could add a lunch feeding in, maybe a good idea.
Okay, there's questions about, you know, the difference between both the regular senior and the senior gold and the regular 30% balancer and the gold balancer. Canna, as part of her questions, has something in there about arthritis. And when you talk about the differences, I just want to slide it in there before that. There really is no feed that is going to have anything that will take care of arthritis. That's going to be supplemental. That's going to be your vet, you know, maybe in NSAID like Previcox or something, but just know that feeds are not going to have, and even if they claim they do, the amount that's in there is probably going to be negligible. But that's the side note on that. Go ahead and just kind of recap the differences between the regular senior, the senior gold, the regular balancer, and the 30% balancer and the gold balancer.
Okay, the big difference are the three features and benefits that I capped recently. The amino acid balance, the added whey. We don't use any whey in the traditional products, so it doesn't have that feature in it. We don't add the calcia or the gastric buffer in the gold feeds that we do the traditional white bag feeds. Also, we don't balance for the dietary cation balance in the classic feeds as we do in the gold feed. So those are the big picture differences. And to your point, you're correct about the arthritis. You're not going to get a feed that's going to help arthritis. You need some sort of supplementary, a vet or something. I agree with that point 100%. But yeah, the big difference in the products, the whey protein, the gastric buffer, and the electrolyte balance are all features that are exclusive to the Triple Crown Gold line.
So Ellen N has a question. If a horse has a variable work schedule, 3 days on, 7 days off, for example, should he still be fed the same way every day?
That's a good question. I've never been asked that question, and I did see it beforehand. I don't know. There's some human diets for high performance athletes where people will eat to whatever activity level they're at. So for instance, if I have a heavy workout tomorrow, I would eat more carbohydrates today. So I wonder if that's not where that comes from. But I don't think that's practical long term for the way we feed horses. So I would say just provide a good balanced diet every day, meet their calorie demands, and I don't think I would feed that way. I would just feed the same every day, no matter what. With the exception of electrolytes. If you work heavy and your horse sweats a lot, you may want to add electrolytes on an as needed basis. But other than that, I would just feed, if I feed 6 pounds a day, I feed 6 pounds a day.
Well, and I think the important thing that you brought up is that our little darlings are very sensitive to any kind of changes. So consistency is the most important thing.
Excellent
Consistency
point.
with the feed, consistency with the time that you feed, consistency with your hay, and then the little digestive system won't get upset with our little babies. So, okay, so here's another question, Dave. How much for a 1,000-pound horse of the new senior gold would you feed compared to the Perform Gold?
Okay.
And the direction I'm going is density.
Density. All right. We can get you a feed cup. Anybody that wants one that will show the density. The pellet will always be more dense than a feed with beet pulp, a textured product. As far as pounds go, you're going to be able to get by with 4 or 5 pounds a day of the Triple Crown Perform Gold to get the full effect of the gastric buffer. At 4 or 5 pounds a day, you're going to have a preventative dose of the gastric buffer. It's going to take just a tiny bit more, so about 6 pounds of senior to get that same preventive dose of the gastric buffer. So 4 or 5 pounds of Perform Gold, 6 pounds of senior is how I want to say that.
Awesome. Any other things you can think of? Because I'm looking for some other questions. I think we've answered most of them.
Really good questions. We appreciate them. That's awesome.
So here's the thing. Thank you, Dave. You did a fabulous job. Remember the guys at Cherokee Feed and Seed and thank them for all the hard work they've been doing. Remember that Triple Crown Feeds as well as Purina is buy 10, get 1 free at Cherokee. And then this is how you register for the 5 free bags. In the comments section, put register and then put how many horses that you have. And then we will choose the winner probably by Friday, I would think.
Yeah, we could come up with some by Friday, pretty easy.
And when we changed the date for this, some people, we asked what time would be better. Some people said 2, some people said 7. So if you're listening and 7 o'clock was better for you because you're back at work, please watch it. We still will take your registrations for the 5 free bags of feed. There's actually going to be 4 different people that will win 5 free bags of feed. And if you have any questions, put them down and either Dave or I or Megan will answer them, and you can also call us. And the guys at the store are great with information too. Megan, anything? Oh, Megan might be gone. I think we're okay.
Yeah, it looks like we
so
lost
perfect.
Megan.
Dave, thank you very much.
Thank you, Peggy. Thank you for everybody that came and gave us their time. We certainly appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. listening to this. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
And if you have any other questions that you think of, make sure and post them and we'll take care of it. And have a fabulous day. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Peggy. We'll catch you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.